Most people don't stay broke because they're lazy. They stay broke because they've been trained to believe comfort is more valuable than vision. They've been taught to fear the unknown more than they fear a lifetime of financial chains. And so they wait, paycheck to paycheck, in quiet desperation, convincing themselves that surviving is the same as living. But here's the truth. Being broke isn't just a bank account problem. It's a mindset infection. It starts small. You avoid risk. You play it safe. You follow the rules you never wrote. You silence that voice inside that once dared to dream. Until one day you can't hear it at all. Instead, you hear society's lullaby. Just be grateful. Don't ask for more. Money doesn't buy happiness. No, but poverty doesn't either. You see, most people spend their entire lives working to protect a lifestyle they secretly resent. They wake up tired, they go to jobs they hate, they earn just enough to stay in place, not to grow, not to build, but just to survive. That's not life. That's economic quicksand. And the deeper you settle into it, the harder it becomes to climb out. You were not created to live in limitation. You were not designed for dependency. But to escape the trap, you must first destroy the beliefs that built it. Because poverty of the wallet always begins with poverty of the mind. When Andrew Carnegie began his empire, he wasn't handed wealth. He created it, not with luck, but with a relentless mindset. When Henry Ford was mocked for his ideas, he didn't fold, he pushed. When Napoleon Hill sat at the feet of the world's greatest achievers, he discovered one common thread. They refused to accept financial struggle as destiny. Most people think they need more money to get rich. No, you need more courage, more clarity, more hunger. You need to see money not as an enemy, not as evil, but as a tool. One you're either using or being used by. And if you're broke today, don't lie to yourself and say it's just bad luck. Say it like it is. You've been conditioned. But the good news? That conditioning can be broken. You're not broke. You've just been convinced to act like you are. You will not break free by hustling harder with the same broken beliefs. You will not escape the cycle by budgeting crumbs. Real wealth begins in the mind. That's why the rich think differently. Not because they're smarter, but because they rewired the thoughts the poor never challenge. The average person waits for permission. They wait for the right time. They wait until fear is gone. But wealth doesn't wait. Wealth responds to vision. It moves when you do. You see, broke isn't always about money. It's about mental patterns, self-doubt, scarcity, procrastination, fear of failure. These are the bars of your invisible prison. You can have talent, drive, and even knowledge. But if your beliefs are built on fear, you'll sabotage every opportunity handed to you. There's a reason most lottery winners go broke. A poor mind cannot manage a wealthy outcome. Napoleon Hill said it best. Success comes to those who become success conscious. Read that again. It doesn't come to the wishful or the hopeful. It comes to those who build a mindset that expects success, lives it, breathes it, demands it. That's why broke people often hate the rich, because the rich remind them of what they never gave themselves permission to pursue. They look at the results and assume greed, luck, privilege, but they never see the obsession, the discipline, the years of learning, failing, and rising again. If you want to break free, you have to stop worshiping comfort. Comfort is the enemy. It tells you that your current level is good enough. But listen, you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. And you cannot build wealth with the same habits that kept you broke. There must be a shift, not in income, but in identity. You must become the kind of person who is no longer available for mediocrity, no longer available for excuses, no longer available for the stories that keep you small. You were born to create, to multiply, to build, to influence. And money is the fuel that can expand that impact. But first, you have to see yourself as worthy of it, not someday. Now, you don't need more jobs. You need more boldness. You don't need better luck. You need a better vision. And the moment you decide to stop thinking like a broke man is the moment the world starts responding to you differently. This world is built to keep you small, but you weren't made to stay small. The system trains you to obey, to repeat, to consume, but not to own, not to lead, not to rise. And if you don't break the cycle, it will swallow you whole and call it a normal life. But normal is broke. Normal is debt. Normal is anxiety about the next bill. Normal is trading time for money until your body gives out. And listen to me, you were not born for that. You were born to break cycles, to build legacies, to become the first in your family who didn't just survive, but mastered the game. And that game begins inside. Your mind is the battlefield. You want wealth? It's not just about working harder. It's about thinking sharper, acting bolder, expecting more. Broke people hesitate. Winners decide. Broke people doubt. Winners believe. Broke people blame. Winners take ownership. And when you take ownership, when you stop waiting to be rescued and realize you were meant to rescue yourself, that's when the chains snap. That's when the future bends. Do you want to know why most people never make it? Because their vision isn't bigger than their fear. They see the cost of trying, but not the cost of staying the same. They worry about failure, but never realize stagnation is the slowest death of all. But not you. You've come this far for a reason. Something inside you refuses to be average. And that fire you feel, that frustration with your current life, that's not weakness. That's the signal. That's the alarm clock going off in your soul. It's telling you, you were meant for more. You were meant to be the man who changes everything. The man who walks away from excuses, builds when no one believes, and becomes the proof that it's possible. So wake up with intention. Move with purpose. Make decisions like a man who's already free. And when the doubt creeps in, because it will, you don't run. You remind yourself, I am not going back. There is no backup plan. There is no safety net. There is only this one life. And it's time you lived it like the man who refuses to die broke. You are not here to survive. You are here to dominate. Now go prove it.